7:45. We're back with a live shot from Century Plaza Hotel and Spa and our chance to dive into the world of fall foraging. We want to be safe. We want to learn about the great mushrooms out there. Mary Berbee from UBC and my college is joining us. Welcome to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing in all these different types of mushrooms. And I want you to be completely honest. When it comes to Mushroom Club, is there a secrecy you don't talk about Mushroom Club of where you find?
There is secrecy. So if you have a good spot, it's your spot and you don't tell anyone about it.
Yeah. What are the areas, though, that are the characteristics of finding good mushrooms?
Well, areas where there are Douglas fir trees often give good yields of chanterelles. These are chanterelles that Megan Stewart brought in.
Yeah, Megan Stewart, our producer, found these. So characteristics of how you identify different mushrooms. What are you looking for color-wise, feel-wise, stem, stalk, all that kind of stuff?
All that kind of stuff is right. And part of the reason why it's difficult is because we're used to identifying people and plants. We're not used to identifying mushrooms. So little tiny things really matter. So one of the most important things is distinguishing a death cap from anything else.
Yeah.
So when you look at these death caps, these are death caps, and 2 of these would kill an adult individual. And the little tiny character that's really important in recognizing these is the way they've got this cup at the base. That cup there, that's one of the things that's actually diagnostic for those mushrooms.
So the sensation of touch is okay. This is through complete ingestion when you're eating.
I don't believe that anybody gets sick from touching mushrooms with the exception of a few rare cases of allergies. Allergies.
And how common are the death cap right now? Because there was a warning put out here in the month of October.
Yeah, these started to come up in East and Central Vancouver. These came from Strathcona. Jim Flight found them and he gave them to me.
Okay, these ones as well, so colorful, and then we'll jump back over here. These ones have a poisonous component as well, yeah?
They do, actually. They give you a serious stomachache. They're bright red and they look more toxic, but these are actually the ones that are far more dangerous.
Okay, and other than the color itself, well, what do you look at characteristic-wise if they are going to be a poisonous mushroom?
Well, the first thing, you notice this has that cup that this one has too. Mm-hmm. So anything with a cup is likely to be dangerous. Those are characteristic of the genus Amanita, and so those should be avoided. And if you look at a young mushroom, it doesn't look like it's got a cup, but if you look inside...
Let's hold that up for camera so friends can see it. Now, what are we looking for here?
If you look very closely, you can see the gills of the mushroom.
You want to point that out on this one right here so they can see?
The gills of the mushroom are right there.
Okay.
And then you look at that orange layer on the top. That orange layer is going to be uncovered when these scaly things start to split as the cap expands. And you can see various stages of the cap expansion. So here you can see that the cap is expanding and the warts are separating. So if you see anything like that inside of a mushroom, it's really essential not to eat it.
That's trouble in tummy time.
That's trouble in tummy time.
A few hours later you want to stay away from. Mary, let's go back over to these mushrooms right here. Tell us about these characteristics of what stands out, the types and the characteristics.
Well, these mushrooms, what stands out with these, part of what stands out to me with these is these gills which are on the bottom surface, sort of run down the stalk. They're very different mushrooms and they have different effects. So this one is edible. This one may or may not be edible a few times, but then people develop a sort of a near allergic reaction to it, and it can actually cause fatal kidney damage.
So if we're out there and we're foraging and you want to be safe with what you're including in your menu, what are the keys to look for if you want to forage with success?
Well, the key is, first of all, learn the things that are really toxic. So make sure that you really know the characteristics that separate this group here, because these are the ones that you could seriously regret. And then from that point on, learn relatively few and learn what they look like in all stages of development. And the first time you eat them, eat a very small quantity, because even the mushrooms that are our friends and that are the best edible mushrooms cause indigestion or upsets in some people. So you want to know if you're one of those some people.
It's an acquired taste. Finally, a resource. If you're going foraging and you want to reference, there's so many great types of mushrooms out there. What resources do you recommend?
Well, I kind of like Mushrooms Demystified by David Aurora. It's a book. And I also like Mushrooms of the Redwood Forest, which is a recent book by Schwartz and Siegel.
Okay.
It's got gorgeous pictures, and it's really helpful for IDs.
Okay, let's end on this one right here. What do we have?
Okay, so we have this one. They look a lot alike, right? These are edible puffballs, and you slice them open, and edible puffballs, when they're edible, are completely white inside. So, completely white inside.
Show that difference right there. Okay.
Totally uniform. These, on the other hand, are called earth balls, and they're tougher. So these, you know, poke them, they're like marshmallows. These are tough.
Soft, not so much.
Black inside.
That's okay, or?
This is poisonous. If you ate this, you would also you would regret it.
We'll stick with this one.
Stick with this one.
Stick with this one. Listen, Mary, all kinds of great information. We'll check out those books as well as resources to forage with safety and stay clear of these guys on the side.
Excellent.
Deal. Thanks for coming by. We'll take a break.